There is one rule between our people. One law. We are always watching.
The official trailer for Season 10 is out. And oh my god, this is one of the best trailers I have ever seen. Literally everything I disliked about Season 9 is 10 times better in this trailer. It looks so good. Of course, it's only the trailer, but literally every character I saw in this trailer is in character. It's so good. This is so good for, like, even Judith was good in this trailer. It was realistic. This is how it would be. As some of you might know, I disliked Negan in Season 9 because he was so out of character. He wasn't really what Negan was. But just by looking at this trailer, I see Negan is back. This is how Negan would be. There's even a scene in this trailer when he's in the cell still, but he's exactly like he was in Season 7. That is so good. Even characters like Rosita are just in character again. It's all so good. It just works so well. Like, I've actually never got this feeling with a trailer before. Like, this trailer looks to show such a promising season. It's going to be so good. And of course, just before this trailer was released, it was announced that this is Michonne's last season. And so before I break down this trailer and talk about what you clicked on this video for, like I promised, I'm going to bring back a giveaway. And of course, make it a more permanent thing on the channel. Like I said, to celebrate Michonne's life on the show, and of course the Season 10 trailer, I'm giving away 2 Michonne action figures. If you want to win, all you've got to do, of course, is be subscribed to the channel, follow me on Twitter, and comment down below what you liked about the Season 10 trailer, and 2 lines down write "I want to win." Remember, that's all you've got to do, and this giveaway ends on the 25th of August, and the winner will be announced in the nearest video to that date. Good luck. So let's talk about this trailer. The first thing we see is a walker tied to a tree branch or a big part of a tree. Of course, there's not really much relevance or foreshadowing or anything, but this is like that new beach kind of area, kind of near Oceanside, and it's most likely where Michonne's going to leave. There's a common theme in this trailer where characters are talking about just leaving, about stop fighting and just going to live somewhere else, just keep moving. And although Daryl and Carol were talking about that, it's most likely going to be Michonne that does that. The next shot is an overview shot of 6 characters riding on horses. To me, this looks like Alden on the far right, Michonne next to him on the left, Aaron in the middle, Ezekiel next to Aaron on the left, and most likely Magna and Yumiko on the far left. They look like they're traveling from community to community because the war is close. Like, even if they don't cross the border at this point, Michonne at least knows that there is going to be something big happening. Then, of course, we hear a scene of Alpha being played where she talks about the rules and how she's always watching, and that plays over a few cuts of her walking in a field with the rest of the Whisperers. And this looks like all the main characters are pretty much going to meet with just the pikes between them and the Whisperers. They're having a meeting, kind of setting in stone what's going to happen, who's going to be fighting in this war. What's weird about this is this seems to be where they talk about punishment and where the war would start, yet Alpha's still there. So I feel like some pretty big boundaries are going to be set by Alpha for someone to then go and kill her. And then, of course, in this similar setting, in like a forest just before this open field area, we do get a shot of Carol saying bitch has to die. She's not wrong either, because Alpha kind of does have to die for this Whisperer War story arc to happen. And the Whisperer War is already looking to be really, really good, by the way. I mean, I don't think we saw many shots of it. I don't think it's going to happen till a bit later in the season. But we saw the Whisperers actually had guns. They were literally facing them at Daryl and the rest of the characters, so it should be really, really good. And remember, the border we actually see Daryl and Michonne cross, there seems to be different settings for this border. Remember, it's not just the pikes we saw in Season 9. This border is spread through quite a lot of the Whisperers' land. In the next shot, we see someone from Alexandria. I mean, it looks like Hilltop the most. Someone from one of those communities putting like a potato sack on their head to mimic or impersonate the Whisperers. I think this scene is going to happen purely to show the people that don't know what the Whisperers are yet what they are. Of course, a lot of people are going to be involved in this war. They're going to need to know what they look like. But the characters are smiling in this scene, so it's likely the character with this sack on his head is just trying to be funny. The next shot shows Michonne on the windmill Alexandria looking over somewhere to see something, and I think this is personally the Whisperers' roamers. But but it wouldn't happen now. I think that would be a nighttime scene, and it just wouldn't happen this early. This trailer is for the first half. I doubt we'll get such a big moment like this now. And if you don't know what I'm talking about a scene from the comics that happens where Beta gets really angry and he directs a whole herd of walkers to Alexandria. Like about 3 armies worth of walkers. It's a massive, massive herd. I don't think that will happen just yet. We then see a shot, it's like a GoPro shot from off the ground, looking up from the ground at about 4 walkers. Now when these shots are done, it's normally to show how claustrophobic things are and how many things are in the shot at the time. And I think this is something Michael Cudlitz would have directed. I think this is in an episode where he directs. Because we did see similar styles to this in the second half of season 9. But this shot could possibly be teasing a load of walkers being led by the Whisperers, of course. And then one of my favourite parts of the trailer happens. We see Negan in his cell actually being Negan again. This is exactly like Negan. This is who Negan is. And I actually think he's talking to Gabriel in this shot because he references shitting pants. Of course, he's just referencing himself from season 8, but this is something he actually said to Gabriel when he was trying to scare him in the season 8 premiere. And it's shot in almost the exact same way. So I think this scene is another scene with him and Gabriel, and I think they're talking about Negan having to fight in the Whisperer War. The next shot shows Eugene rushing to his radio, which of course is almost confirmed at this point is going to be Stephanie from the Commonwealth, or at least it's something to do with the Commonwealth. Eugene's going to have this whole storyline with him finding out about the Commonwealth. It's going to happen through him. And in the next shot we see Rosita with her baby, and she's crying. Now I think it's time we address the title of this video. Why do I think Sadiq is going to die, and how does this trailer show that? Well, first of all, I think it's 100% certain that Gabriel or Sadiq will die. And spoilers for the comics, I think Sadiq is going to get Gabriel's comic death. I said this from the start that whoever is up on that water tower needs to be a character that has a lot of fear. The character starts to panic, he shouts for help and gets scared, breaks his ankle on the ladder to the water tower, falls and draws attention, Beta guts him and walkers devour him. I think this death will happen. I don't think it will be avoided, and I don't think it will be Gabriel, and I think everything's leading to this being Sadiq. Gabriel just isn't scared anymore. In this trailer we saw him almost a leader of Alexandria. He's completely different to not only what he was in the show, but to what his comic counterpart was. He's completely different. And in the trailer we even hear Michonne talking to Aaron saying, "Fear will tear us apart." And as she's saying this, we see shots of Sadiq almost having a panic attack or PTSD about the events of season 9. In fact, even in the season 9 premiere, we see him scared, like really scared of spiders. That was a small hint of him being a fearful character. And especially because of the Pikes, him being left alive, him seeing that and being so close to death, he has been changed for the worse. He is really scared now. We also see a shot of Sadiq drowning himself in water to almost wake himself up, get him out of the hallucinational kind of episodes he's been having. And I 100% believe he's going to get Gabriel's comic death. Michonne said it herself. Fear will tear them apart. It will tear Sadiq apart, literally. And just as more proof, we also see shots of Rosita in the trailer being sad, being upset. And Gabriel is there to comfort her because I don't think he dies. I think she's upset because Sadiq is dead. Her child will grow up with no biological father. And this shot of Rosita holding her baby is actually completely remade in the trailer later on, but with Sadiq. I've always thought Sadiq would have this death, but I think this trailer confirms that Sadiq will die in season 10. And I don't hate Sadiq, by the way. I've seen a lot of people say that. I actually like Sadiq. I think a lot of people think that just because I made the Sadiq betrayal theory a few months ago. Well, that theory doesn't suggest he is a traitor, it just suggests he betrayed the group in some way. It's a fun idea suggesting he managed to lure the main characters that were the Pike victims into the barn. He was forced to do that. And part of that video suggests that he actually traded out Rosita with Tara without her knowing. And I wouldn't bet on that happening, but I'd bet on Sadiq dying because of that situation. Because of his fear of the Whisperers, of being surrounded by walkers, and PTSD from what he saw, he is going to end up dying exactly like Gabriel in the comics. The only other person I think this could be is Luke. He looks to be on some kind of tower or water tower. And they do show this shot just after Michonne says fear will tear us apart. And of course, at least as far as season 9 is concerned, Luke is one of those characters to be quite scared. But then again, looking at Luke right now, he's got a new look, he's got a new weapon, and he doesn't have some sniper like Gabriel did in the comics because he's a scout. So it's possible this is just to make us think differently. But Luke is definitely a contender for this death. He is one of those characters to be scared, and he's a contender. But I'm going with Sadiq right now to get this death, 100%. Another shot we see when Michonne talks about fear is a weird shot of Carol with what looks to be like Henry's head behind her, which is quite weird. Unless she's getting some kind of PTSD like Sadiq is looking to get, her character doesn't seem to be getting mad or turning mad or anything like that. So it's really odd for her to be almost hallucinating like Morgan was when he goes mad. But I feel like this has to be something to do with Carol maybe having a nightmare or dream state where she's hallucinating and seeing Henry's head. Of course, that would have scarred her quite a bit seeing that. I don't think she's going mad though. And when Michonne's talking about the communities being driven apart again, we get 2 shots of graffiti on the walls of Alexandria, the roofs, the doors. The residents of Alexandria want to fight the Whisperers. People from Alexandria are doing this to try and get the leaders to see what they really want to do. They want to fight the Whisperers, and obviously we know that's going to happen, but how will it be? I still think Negan's got something to do with Alpha's death. We then see a shot of Lydia training with Henry's stick. Henry's stick. Just making sure you heard that right. I think she's training with Henry's stick, and of course that could also have something to do with Alpha's death. Alpha's gonna see her for sure, and it's pretty predictable of what's gonna happen with Lydia. In the next shot we see a picture of Negan picking tomatoes from the gardens of Alexandria, and he's warning Lydia, almost giving her advice, saying watch your back, kid. Because as we predicted, characters will be blaming Lydia for what happened. We saw in the season 9 finale, characters like Alden were blaming her. Ezekiel got quite snappy at Daryl. I think a character we're going to see the most get angry or hostile towards Lydia will be Gage. Gage is the last surviving Hilltop kid. He literally lost all his friends to the Whisperers. And just after Negan says watch your back, kid, we get a shot of Daryl being behind Lydia. That's quite weird. I think that's just the way the trailer's trying to put it, but I don't think Daryl's going to be hostile towards Lydia. If anything, he's the only character not being hostile to her at this point. And then in the next shot, something I've been waiting for so long, Daryl confronts Negan. For me, this is more exciting than Daryl versus Beta. Just Daryl talking to Negan is insane to me. All that Daryl was put through, all that he feels blamed for, all that he feels was responsible for, he can now take out on Negan. He basically says to Negan, you and I have never been in the same room before, not toe to toe. And as we see, it's just them. The only thing between Daryl and Negan is the cell. And in the next shot, we do see Daryl punch Negan. He's probably going to beat him up, and I think that's well deserved. He's not going to kill Negan, but I think we can all agree this was due for Daryl to do. And of course, we see also in the trailer, Negan does team up with Aaron. And in this shot, we see Negan covered in blood with a crowbar in his hand, with Aaron on the floor. Now, I don't think we have anything to worry about. Negan's not going to kill Aaron. The trailer's made it look like that, or something like that, but all I think this is Negan's killed a walker or a whisperer, and he's standing over Aaron to help him up. It's that simple, but the shot looks really cool.
Look, man, if it's all the same to you, I'd really just stay here and pick tomatoes and bury corpses.
You can fight. You are low on fighters. Peanut butter, meat jelly.
That's awesome. Good on you. Putting the old stump to use.
I feel like crying. This is what I was talking about. This is Negan's character. This is what I meant when Negan needs to be back to what he was in season 7, even though he hasn't still got what he had. This is what we need. This is so good. I had to play that scene because it's so good. I love it. And pretty much what's happening in this scene is Negan is being forced to fight. He's being forced to go out with Aaron's group and fight with them. Now, the scene where Daryl goes and visits Negan, I think that's more to do with him being out for good. As in order for Negan to get out of his cell, he has to guard them, of course. I think that's what Daryl was talking to him about. But this scene right here with Negan, Aaron and Gabriel, I think Negan is being forced to go out and fight with Aaron to help him. And when the Whisperer War actually happens, it's going to be big, by the way. Negan is going to be with them, and he will be forced to fight, which is what we need. I think Negan needs to be out. The next couple of shots go along with the music of the trailer of people just killing walkers, and I think the most important to talk about is Judith. Now, if you've been on the channel for a while, you know I don't really like Judith. I've never really been a fan. In fact, I've been quite annoyed by her. But everything this trailer has shown is realistic. It's good. She's been okay. So I do like Judith now because she was actually genuinely cool in the trailer. I don't regret what I said. I don't take it back. I think she was cringy in season 9, but if this trailer is anything to go by, I think Judith is fine. And of course, throughout the trailer as well, we get scenes of the characters cleaning out the beach. They've got spiked shields, they've got spears, cleaning the beach of walkers, just killing walkers, getting it clear for boats. Which of course leads to how I think Michonne will leave the show. The way she was talking was different to Andrew Lincoln, because of course we know know Andrew Lincoln was getting the movies, at least now. But the way Denai was talking was almost like she was being killed off the show. I don't think that's going to happen. It's possible, but as you see on the screen, we saw this boat in the trailer. At the time of this shot, this is Michonne and Sadiq on this boat. It's possible this is how Michonne leaves. This is how I think she leaves. In fact, the very end shot of this trailer, the little teaser shot we got, is of Michonne wearing a bandana. She's differently clothed and she's got Lucille. And what I think that is her in her boat attire. She's got new clothes and she's a traveler now. So I think she just leaves that way. Although Siddiq is in this shot, I don't think he's going to leave as well like this. I don't think this shot exactly is the scene she leaves, but it will be similar to this. It will be quite a calm scene. And this shot right here with Lucille, I think this is a little teaser of what Michonne is like after she leaves the show. It's something like that. She's wearing really similar clothes to her comic counterpart when she was on a boat. So I think that's what it is. She 100% has to leave on a boat. In fact, I think these scenes on a beach is the characters cleaning out the beach to find the boats, to find out the possibility of leaving the area. Then one of the last shots show Michonne and Ezekiel kissing. Now, a lot of people were annoyed or confused by this, but I don't really think there's anything to be annoyed by. It's been a few years since Rick left, and although I do think Michonne and Daryl still know Rick's still alive, they found it a lot easier to deal with. And don't forget, Ezekiel and Michonne happened in the comics. And when Ezekiel died, Michonne felt a lot of guilt. And so this one shot right here just confirms to me that Ezekiel also dies in season 10 and has something quite big to do with Michonne leaving too. I don't think it's that bad. In the next shot we see Luke talking to Judith, and Judith gives him a book, possibly a Bible. And if we skip a few shots, there's another shot of Michonne talking to Judith and they both look quite sad. It's set at night time and Michonne looks like she's almost comforting Judith because of what she's heard or seen. So I think it is likely that Luke dies quite early on. Then the trailer takes a slightly darker turn, it gets a bit slower, and we see Magna talking to Cindy. She's back from Oceanside now, saying that if they cross the border, that's war. That's it. And yeah, I think that's what happens. We've seen in the trailer Daryl and Michonne walk straight across that border and they get caught. We get quite a sinister shot of Michonne and Daryl dropping their weapons. I think Carol's there too. And the Whisperers have literal AK-47s aimed at them. And Alpha warns them, saying because they crossed their border, they must be punished. Now another shot in this trailer is of Beta stumbling in a field with some other Whisperers. Really looks like he's seeing Alpha's head on a stick. Like nothing really leads to that, but that's just what I really think this is. I bet you that's what it is. He looks shocked and upset and he's stumbling just like most of the characters did when they saw their friends on the pikes. So I think someone has put Alpha's head on a stick on this field for the Whisperers to see as a sign to stop a war. But of course, as we know, Beta's gonna see this and start one. And the next shot shows Alpha holding an actual pike. It could have a head on it, but to me it's like something that would start a fire, because she says to these people, you better run. And the next shot shows people running away from a fire in the same kind of area. So I think the Whisperers are setting fire to the forest area they're in so that they have to fight the Whisperers and walkers that way. They're trapped in. And the rest of this trailer is just some really cool looking killing walker scenes in this fiery forest setting that I think the Whisperers have done. They've set fire to the forest and we see all these main characters fighting them because they've been trapped in. And this just looks insane. Like all out war, I get why that would have been called a war, but this, what we see on our screen right now, if this isn't even the start of the Whisperer war yet, imagine what the actual thing is going to look like. It's going to be so good. I think season 10 is going to be another season 5. In other words, I think we've got an amazing season coming up. But most importantly, what do you think? On the top right of your screen, you're going to see an eye icon. Just click or tap on that and you can vote in the poll. Do you think season 10 is going to be a good season? Does this trailer hype you up? Are you excited? And of course, don't just vote in the poll. Make sure to comment down below what you think. Are you excited for season 10? Let me know what you think about the trailer. Also, remember, if you wanted to win this Michonne figure, I'm giving away 2 on the 25th of August. All you've got to do is follow me on Twitter, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you loved about the trailer, what you're looking forward to in season 10, and 2 lines beneath, just write I want to win, so I know you want to win. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like it, of course. It actually helps the video get seen. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go and check out my other ones. Check out my season 10 death predictions list if you want to know who I think is genuinely going to die in season 10. And of course, the Rick Grimes movie teaser was released, and I don't think I'm going to do a video about it, purely because I kind of figured out about the city literally months before it happened. The teaser was cool to see, but it's not really anything new in terms of what we found. So if you want to see my video about the Rick Grimes teaser and just a Fury solving that already, that'll be on the top right of your screen right about now too. And of course, we've got 10 weeks of extra season 10 stuff every Thursday. So make sure to subscribe so that you are the first to hear about The Walking Dead. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.